We begin first with a piece in Latin by Palestrina, great Renaissance Italian composer, Secret to the Cherries. I think that longing is really characteristic in that piece. You can sense it in the music. We turn to two pieces that were recently composed by Gabriel Jackson, who describes his music as being essentially meditative. So we hope you can find these next two pieces in that light. Gabriel Jackson.
Oh,
go back in time again to the period of the Renaissance, the Elizabethan period in England, to William Byrd, who was himself a Roman Catholic during the time of Protestant England. So, like other Roman Catholics, he worshipped in private, and he composed music for the Roman Catholic liturgy, including 3 settings of the Mass. One setting for 3 voices, another setting for 4, another for 5. This is from the setting for 4 voices. It's the last part of the Mass Ordinary, the Agnus Dei, or the Lamb of God. This piece, I think, is particularly poignant at the close because the last text of the Agnus Dei is a plea for peace. Grant us peace. And I'd like for you to listen to that bit of the text, Dona nobis pacem, and how Byrd sets that to music. We find it particularly poignant and beautiful. So, enjoy. This next piece, you hear chickens. and read the translation. And I think you can tell when we're singing about it. Hallelujah is an unusual piece. It starts out, and you think you know what's going to happen, and then you're a little surprised, and maybe a little uncomfortable, and then it's okay again. That's kind of an interesting piece. I think you'll enjoy it. We have one piece more, and we'll just take a short break, really 5 minutes. You can stay right where you are. We'll just take a chance to breathe outside a little bit, and we'll go back in for more. This piece is a little more predictable, but no less fun.
I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Oh, you brought me, almighty, almighty long way. Oh, I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Lord. Brought me from almighty long way. You make my
if you care to drop something in the plate on the way out, finance our trip, thank you. But the greatest gift that you can give us is just to be here and hear our music. So thanks for being here today. We're going to go back to the Renaissance again, this time to the Spanish Renaissance, and think of Tomas Luis da Victoria, great Spanish composer. I mean, it's traditional to think of music of Renaissance Spain as being particularly passionate and heartfelt. I don't know if it's really necessarily unique to Spain in this period, but certainly the music of the Counter-Reformation is really often very powerful and very poignant. And this is a piece that, for Holy Week, if you read the text, that will become obvious to you. Verdi Langores Nostros. And there's a particular moment in this piece that I find particularly moving, and I think Victoria meant it to be so. When he actually quotes a medieval hymn, Crux Fidelis, and he's talking about the sweet wood and the sweet nails that bear even a sweeter burden. And you know, of course, who that burden is. And at that moment, all the voices come together. They've been predominantly singing in polyphony at different times and echoing each other, but there they really come together in this moment that Victoria didn't write any dynamics, but it seems to me to be a really holy moment. So we'll sing that very quietly. But the text is Dulce Linum, sweet wood, Dulce Sclavos, sweet nails, Dulcia Ferens Pondera, bearing such a sweet burden. So you can listen to that in this piece.
Oh
earlier. This is by Cristobal de Morales. And you'll find this is a different style prevalent here. He paraphrases, that is, he takes snippets of a melody that was already existed, an old plain chant tune, and he puts those bits of melody into the polyphonic fabric. So you'll hear little motives of the melody throughout. And then he weaves around that little dancing rhythms. And there's not one voice that has those bits of chant melody, but it's passed around. Now, if we were in a service of worship during Morales' time, we would no doubt know this tune, very familiar tune. You may have heard it, but we're probably not as familiar with it. So what I'm going to do is have the men sing the plain chant, the original melody that Morales was working from, so you have that in your ear, and then perhaps you'll be able to pick up the bits of the melody when it comes into Morales' piece. Okay? So plain chant first, and then we'll go right into Morales' setting. Victime Pascalinalis, a hymn piece for Easter.
Victime Pascalinalis, Simone Christiani, Agnus Redemptores, Christus innocens Patri, reconcilia vic peccatores, nos et vita duremur conflixere mirando, lux vitae mortuus regnat vivus.
Composer from the Midwest, and Midwest, the choirs in the Midwest, Lutheran tradition, wonderful music. So, a setting from the Song of Solomon.
As
we left yesterday, and it seems like a long time ago, but it's been just a little over 24 hours. We left yesterday afternoon and sang in Templeton at Bethel Lutheran Church. And this morning we sang at two different churches. We sang at Mount Carmel Lutheran Church in San Luis Obispo, and then First Presbyterian, and then we had a little bit of time. The chamber singers were kind enough to present me with a gift that they thought I could use. I still haven't quite figured out what's behind this, and maybe I don't need to know. They gave me a magic wand, and I want you to know that it is a magic wand. It's not just a piece of brown plastic with their names nicely signed on it. It really does things. I'm thinking that it might be really important to use this at some point in this concert. And so I just wanted you to know it. That aside, we're singing three songs now by Eric Whitaker. Eric Whitaker is very popular these days in choral music circles. He writes, again, he writes beautifully for the voice, and so choruses love to sing his music, and of course it's beautiful to hear. Sometimes very complicated harmonies, but they're really rich, and sometimes biting dissonances, but they always seem to make sense with the texts that he says. So I have these texts printed in the program for you to read, even though they are in English, because it's wonderful poetry. Now the second piece of these three flower songs is a translation of a poem that was written in Spanish by Federico Garcia Lorca, great poet who lived into this century and was tragically killed, was executed by Franco's forces in the Spanish Civil War. He had actually lived in the United States for some time and then went back to Spain at a critical time and was taken prisoner and was then executed. It's not entirely sure when, the records aren't clear, but clearly that's when he met his end. But Lorca really loved the music of flamenco, and I think most of us have an image of that if we live in this part of the country, with the dancing and the guitar and so on. And Lorca spoke of the way people were, in a sense, possessed by the spirit of flamenco. And I think Whitaker was responding to that when he set Lorca's poem as the second of the pieces, so you'll hear that flamenco element there. So enjoy these pieces.
I
one last piece. It's lots of fun for you. But I do want to thank Harriet Linville for having us here yet again. We've sung in St. Peter's a number of years, and I can't even remember how many. But it's always great to come here. And this is really a beautiful acoustic, I think, for a group like this. It's always fun to sing in here, and it's always fun to sing for you and others who have come in the past. So thanks again for being here and sharing our music with us. This last song is kind of a special song to us. It really celebrates the outdoors. It celebrates life with animals, horses, cattle. You probably know this song, folk song, Chisholm Trail. It's set in a very witty way by Libby Larson, who's a great composer in a variety of idioms. This reminds me of some of Aaron Copland's setting of folk songs that are certainly recognizable as a song, but have some witty twists and so on. Because of the subject matter, Celestina, one of our singers, has really related in a big way to this piece, and her parents are here. The Ripley's are here, and so I thought, this piece should really be dedicated to them. She's sitting right here, and so I know that they'll enjoy it, and I hope you'll do. So, again, thanks so much for being here. It's been great fun to sing for you. It's always fun for me to hear these kids. They've worked hard this weekend. They've worked hard all year, and I think it's really paid off. So I know you've appreciated their music. So thanks again for coming.